Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the stream. I got some. First of all, can you hear me? Lots of changes over this week to my setup. Not necessarily things that you'll be able to tell, but everybody can hear me. That's good. Second of all, somebody really needs attention if you saw that over my shoulder. This guy. He's been sitting here for half an hour. I am apparently getting ready for the stream. Is not adequate paying attention time. And he's got a spot here to bug me from now. So everybody can hear me. Let's see. Hi, everybody. Usually I like to say hi to a lot of people when we start. I got a little distracted though. So welcome. Thank you. So everything has changed. So I reloaded the computer, my laptop from, go back here, or let's go maybe here. So I reloaded my laptop from Windows 11 to Windows 10, trying to help troubleshoot some of the things. So I had to redo all of my stream settings. So I'm hoping that things are working. So the next thing I want to get started is I'm going to start up music. So let's see how that comes across. So shuffle and play. That should be starting now. Dead Bob, $5. Thank you. Kitty tap taps. Yep. So let's see. Music is working. Is it too loud? How are we looking there? Hey, Chris. Hey, Chuck. Might be a bit low. Let's try a little bit more here. So we're fine tuning. Another cool thing that happened this week is previously I was on my local internet provider's highest advertised tiered plan. So it's a cable based system. So it's 1 gig down but only 10 meg up. Apparently they have an unlisted plan that's 30 megs up. So let's see how that helps. Let me adjust my volume, my local volume here. There we go. How are we now? I turn the music up a little bit. Hey, Chris. We're going to be probably about 3 hours today. I got something I need to do this afternoon. So we're looking at about 3 hours worth of just fiddling around with the Switchwire here. So improved internet, redone system. I spent several overnight tests of just running both cameras. And what I found out is no matter what I did, making sure they're on different USB hosts, making sure all this other stuff, if I have both Camlink 4Ks plugged into the computer anywhere, one of them is going to randomly lock up. Individually, they work fine for I was testing 10 hours at a time. Individually, no problem. But if I had both of them hooked up, one of them, and it didn't seem to matter, be noticed which one. Oh, too late. Would lock up. So now we've got bottom of chat window is clipped. I wonder why that is. Thank you for that. I'll work on that. Hopefully it's not too big of a deal. Where was I? So now I've got the ZV-1 hooked up with its native USB, which limits it to 720p, but that's okay. And then the 6400 is via the Camlink. So, what else is going on? I did a test print. Not super pleased, but working towards seeing how well I can get these. This is the 3D Sets buggy with some built-in, I think these are all removable supports. Maybe that doesn't remove, but this one should. I'll have to play with it, but that playing. Okay, he's got a toy now. Anyway, starting to try to get tuning up the Legacy to print these parts. I think it turned out pretty good, and I love this color. There is some weirdness going on, maybe some cooling, maybe something. Let's see. Someone asked earlier, let's go here. The new LDO kit V2 is printing. It's printing another whole set of V2 parts for a neighbor. One of my neighbors is going to build a Boron 2.4. So, but I built this over the last week. I built this new bench so I can spread out a little more. I was cramming all the printers into this one workbench here. So this one's 3 feet wide, still gives me access to the filament cabinet over there and the printers on the end of the bench here. But I can fit 4 printers on it, if you consider 2 of them are V0s. My filter in OBS is a bit high. I don't know if there's any settings on that. It's just a filter you turn on or off. So let's see. Where did the buggy parts come from? 3dsets.com. I bought the original buggy. They have a little road version now that I might buy the upgrade to so I can use some of its parts. But that'll be a slow moving project as I find time. Yeah, Sanity. I have a neighbor who was talking to me about printers, and I started telling him about Voron stuff, and he kind of got hooked and decided to build one. So that will be printing most of the parts. I've got the accent color parts going on the purple Trident over here. So on the Stealth Burner, I'm finding that the front main body hangs a little low and can sometimes cause model crashes and failed prints. Is it my end or something that needs to be looked at? It's supposed to be the same clearance between the bottom of the cooling ducts and the nozzle as on Afterburner. So, and I don't know any updates on ERCF Stealth Burner. What else do we have going on? There's a possibility, if things work out right, I may have a production version of this guy by next weekend. So if we do, it may go on here because this isn't going to be done today. Yeah, Tinker Canuck, Wiley here. Hey, Wiley, sorry I didn't see you. Welcome. He's going to be the man that can answer your question. Wiley is, if everybody, nobody knows, Wiley is the Wiley Bad Noob RCF, or the brains behind and the Stealth Burner and Clockwork 2. Wiley's been doing the bulk of the work on it lately. Oh, hi, Charlie. So the plan for this stream is similar to the Legacy streams I did, where I had a general idea, but it's not. It's kind of more of a hangout and just while I work on something, because I don't know exactly what I'm gonna end up having to do here. I know one of the first things is dust it off, get this cover off, and then start looking at where we're at. So let me grab a rag real quick, a towel, and let me dust this off, get the case off, and then we'll go from there. So just it is dusty. So this is Switchwire.001, the first Switchwire that was printing after RCF had his going. He has 000. This started as a Prusa Mark III. I took one of my Prusa Mark IIIs and took every part I could off of it, including the display and the controller, and used it to build my first version of the Switchwire. I've since rebuilt this with other parts, other steppers, everything else. So, but at some point, over a year ago, the Y adapter, the thing was, we were playing around with those. So I set this up with the Y splitter dual extrusion. So we're going to keep it that way for now and see what it takes to get it printing in an upcoming stream. Stream is over. It's dusted off now. So I'm sure there's going to be a few parts that I need to put on my GitHub repo as a result of this, because there's a few things that I did set up. Let's start here. You saw these in the LDO Switchwire build. This is just to relocate the spool holder. Takes the same piece that would go on top, but puts the spool holder on the side. Then I was using, oh, that's the wrong one. These brackets relocate the M4 extruders so they're more in line with the top slot. So those worked out pretty well, and it brings the filament right at where it comes off the spool. We need to remove all this stuff though, get the cover off. So let's do that. While Charlie paws at my back. Let's start here. So the panels, I bought the clear ones from Tap Plastics, and I got most of the ABS ones from Nimgria. Hey, Mike. So my whole thought here, because I was building mine from a Prusa Mark III, I decided I'd use Prusament Orange for the accent parts. So it's Prusament Orange. The textured look here, that's any of your, I don't know what the technical whatever name for the panels are, but any of the ABS panels you get at least in the US, are smooth on one side and this texture on the other. Okay, I think that's the ones that hold, nope, that's one. I'm getting a constant pawing in the back from Mr. here. Brand was the Lulz Green again. I tried to get similar in EU for my Bear to Switchwire conversion. It's KVP, which is US only. There used to be someone who imported it to the EU, but I don't remember who and if they're still doing it. Hey, Viking Cat. Okay, see you, Tinker. Oh, I didn't even think about that. My orange on my shirt. Yes, Charlie. He has been insufferable since his surgery. But he's pretty much, for all other things, aside from just wanting tons of people time, everything else, he seems back to normal. So this whole thing now just right off. And we can take care of Charlie right like that. What do we think? Give him control of his fate. Okay, we had something fall off onto the floor somewhere. We have printed a bunch of these. I don't remember why. Well, there's different versions of them here. Let me move this out of your way, sir. He can still have his little corner. Hey, Johnny boy. I'm doing well. So the few things I want to do this, that I'm planning to do, and who knows what's going to be unplanned, but this printer was built with an early LDO MGN12 rail, and although I couldn't directly point to any effect in the prints, it has a very slight bit of side-to-side wobble. So I've got another rail I'm going to put on it. So that's probably where we'll start. We've got loose parts and wires and things. I tried to print a Stealth Burner, the latest Stealth Burner cover, but look at that stringing. This is the Prusament. I just used my my KVP settings, but two things. I think it needs dried, so I dried it, and then I'll run a couple of test tuning prints before I try another one. Okay, let's start with the bed. John, good evening. See, I knew there was a reason that I said good evening in my intro. I got people in the evening here. For my filament drying, I'm just using a cheap Rosewill brand food dehydrator that I cut the center of the trays out of that I bought off Amazon. It seems to work okay. Good afternoon, Technology to Assist. So what do you think the chances are that we have, let's see, let's check something. What are the chances that we have 48 people on here today that aren't subscribed? 48 of the 127 people watching. I think that's a pretty low chance. I'm 48 people away from 3,000, which is amazing. Okay, so just removing those, and then I'm just going to lean this up out of the way, hoping to not have to do anything. Just get these off. Take this apart as little as possible. Let's see. I think I'm going to remove this. Let us move all of this just a little further out of the way. There we go. Now we got all the room. Sanity, I think you exploded with that stealth burner stream. Yeah. Yeah, that's there's no doubt. I'm definitely riding a Voron wave here. But I was at the day before that stealth burner stream, I was at like between 700 and 800 subscribers. And then I think I got a little benefit of the holiday, vacation on the holidays. Hey, Killer Prince. Okay, now we're going to take this rail off and replace it. Where's the Charlie button? Yeah, DJ, I needed help. But I've since significantly surpassed that concurrent viewer number. I think I've popped out over 300 on one stream. I think it was one of the early streams building that Blue V2. Okay, so I cannot detect any play in this. Off of the printer, but with the leverage of that bed, just the tiniest little bit. So this is from before LDO going to the whatever the next level of preload is. I don't know if they did light or medium or whatever, but I've been meaning to swap that out for a while. Where did I put those? one or I'll use this one. Charlie's Angels tier. That's bad. Grab a rag. BBs. John, have you thought about doing the nylock or silicone mod for the bed on the Switchwire? I have questions on that mod. So maybe I don't understand it. And so correct me if I'm wrong. But if you are using, if you're concerned about an inductive probe being affected by the magnets, and you're using that probe to determine where on the bed you need to adjust with the nylock mod or the silicone mod, aren't you basing your adjustments on flawed data? Am I thinking wrong or good? Or Magnus, good quality content always gets rewarded with subs. Thank you. Thank you for keeping a Euro-friendly schedule. That's the intent. So 50 Swedish crowns, right? Thank you. Or, so maybe what I'm missing is, do you not use the probe to set that? You just do prints and then adjust where you think it's needed? Okay, this is a new rail, so we're gonna try a little different, for me, not different for anybody else, I'm sure. I'm gonna try a little different way to grease it. So it moves smooth, so I don't feel like I need to take it apart and clean it. It's absolutely right, DJ Natty. It's an education. So normally, I've shown it before, I will take, I'll make sure that the slot that the bearings roll on doesn't have any burrs so they don't get damaged. And I'll take the carriage off, put a little bit of grease in there, and then put it back on using my thumb to keep the bearings in place. I saw the method that I think it was Dave from LDO suggested that Nero was using to squirt grease into one of the screw holes and force it in. That just seems like a lot of grease for not a lot of benefit. I think what I'm simply going to do is force some grease in the side here. And oh, I got a cap on this. I didn't even see that. Teresa, if you're using the inductive probe and you're concerned about the magnets having an effect of the values on the inductive probe, then how can you adjust the level of adjust those nylock nuts based on that data if it's being affected by the magnets? So I'm just kind of pushing this in from the side because, like, I think like Nero said, there's wipers on the end that makes from the ends ineffective. And that seems to have been effective. There's a difference in the way that it's rolling now. Just going to put a little bit more in there. I'm just using my finger to force it into that gap. So Kilo's mentioning that Clipper supports exclusion areas for the probe as well, and I'm hoping to play around with that on this during this build. It won't be, like I said, I don't think we'll be at that point today, but okay, now we're going to wipe off the excess and get it on here. See ya, Chris. This carriage does have the holes on the front and back. I don't know that if they actually connect inside, but I don't have a needle of the proper gauge to use that anyway. Okay, I have got, is that the one? Nope. Oh, yep. Yeah. Just got that. There. If it's part of the very first buy that Niraku did, it's probably an early rail. But if it's not causing any problems and whatever, I wouldn't worry about it. So just putting these in and then we'll tighten them center out. Nice to use streaming, got my Switchwire finished and got my 2 cents on the silicone. I don't think the mod is for correcting magnet faults, but to have finer control on the bed. Right, but my point is, if you're using the sensor that may be being affected by the magnets, then how can you trust the data that it's telling you to adjust the nuts? Sanity, do you use sensorless homing or switch on Y? I was the first for Switchwire. It's easy because I'm number 1, the second one built. But I was the first to use, I did sensorless from the beginning. Okay, let's put that right there. And then we are going to tighten from the center out. Get the needles pretty cheap on Amazon. Yeah. There is a Super Pinda on here right now. I've run both an Omron and a Super Pinda and didn't really notice any significant difference. Hey, Doc. Welcome. Okay. I will have to give that a try at some point, Sanity. I'm just saying when I think about that mod, that's the concerns I have. I've always had. I'm not convinced the magnets affect the probe that much. Okay. Okay, so normally if I'm building a switch wire from scratch, I'm going to use like an extrusion or something to... Can I still do that? Let me see. I don't know if I have enough room. I would normally put like an extrusion across the verticals here to make sure that my bed is perfectly aligned. How am I going to do that here? I don't have any surfaces I can reference to. I wonder if this is... I'm making a couple of assumptions here, and that's not long enough. It's going to make a couple of assumptions that something is straight enough I can put across there and fit in there. What am I going to use for that? I don't want to take all this apart just to get this done. Although I need to redo all of this anyway. I'm going to do that. I'm going to loosen. I'm going to want to retension and line everything and just do a typical general tune-up. So maybe I will do that. I was thinking about a meter stick, but it's too flexible and it's going to end up too high. Because this is above the level of the stepper mounts here. That's okay. I was going to loosen these up and retension and reset up the belt tensions anyway. So what I'm going to do is just let those hang. Like that. I'm going to grab an extrusion. I'm going to set this between here and then this there. Now I can tighten these up and know this is square to the rest of the frame. Just like that. No. That one's the same. Let's try something. Meter stick, yardstick, meter stick, a ruler. That's not better. But what I grabbed was some that I was sent. I'm not 100% sure that the ones I sent are what I wanted. Let me grab the other one that I was going to get. You still here, Doc? This one that I grabbed here was one of the It's a very old rail as well. But I'm not 100% sure it was supposed to be the medium preload version. I do know, or at least I'm fairly confident, that this one, that's a newer rail. This one I grabbed here, I've had for over a year. This one's brand new. Hold on just a second. So let's try this one. Once again, we're going to check it out of the bag. It runs smooth. Let's throw some grease in it. Thanks, Doc. I got your DM. Force that in there with my finger. Cameron, to the level that actually matters, I think any perceivable, if you can't perceive a bow in that extrusion, I think it's fine. I mean, honestly, it'll print fine if it's crooked, if the bed is rotated. I just like to go that extra little bit. Here, I showed a trick where you put the syringe in the bolt hole. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier. It's probably better, more suited for the MGN7. That's a lot of grease to fill up the MGN12. Jeff, I get the appeal of a dual Y setup. I think if this is a decent rail, I don't think it's needed. But that might be the challenge of getting decent rails. Well, and then the fact I didn't really see an effect, even with a slight wobble on the last one. I didn't see an effect in the prints. Yeah, Tracy, yeah, exactly. Even if it's not necessary, sometimes your OCD, or whatever the right term is. What do we got? For those of you who want better grip on your syringe when grease filling, I printed these off and really liked them. Here, hold on a second, Doc. There. I think you can post a link now if you want. Center out. There we go. Charlie's playing in the playground. What he's actually trying to do right now is figure out how to get up here. He's trying to figure out how to get on top here without doing the big jump. Okay, let's try this again. Yep, here he comes. He's a little intimidated by the enclosure being here. Oh, there he is. Charlie is very active. Okay, grab my... That goes there, that goes there. Put these up. Yep, there we go. There we go. No play. There's flex. There's no play. Before I was feeling a very distinct, very tiny, but there's zero here. Yep. Okay. Now let's make sure I get all the grease off my fingers. I don't want to get it on that matte finish on the Mark III bed. Mark 52 bed, I mean. Is that bed mount a printed part? No. So this is an aluminum Y carriage. It's straight from a Prusa Mark III. It's being there's a new hole pattern here that there's a template, or you can buy these now for a Switchwire, but there's a template to drill a new hole pattern for the belt holder, which is a printed part, but the carriage screws directly into the MGN 12 cartridge. Christian, this is technically number 2. So Voron serial numbers start with 000. So RCF has 000. This is 001. The next step is he's going to start pawing things off the desk. Ooh. Gotta get to... Okay, let me go the reverse order of what I did here. Let me get this back out of the way. You're in the way, Charlie. Okay. Remember when I said that I don't typically put Loctite on my grub screws? So when I first built this, the first homing, I ended up losing a grub screw. I didn't know where it went. There's where it went. Where's my tweezers? Okay, this guy. No. Yeah, poor guy with his. I don't know what they did there. If that was for a monitor when he was under anesthesia, or. Those are mine, not yours. About to send those right off the edge of the bench. Now, I think we can prop this up here. There we go. Put this in here. Ludwig, oh please, pet Charlie already. Can't watch. Uh-oh. He wants on. He sped up. He's about to go to my shoulder. That's not okay right now, Charlie. Assembling a Switchwire on hard mode. Okay, now can I get this thing back out here? Yeah, let's unplug it. I put plugs here for a reason. Should have done that in the first place. Okay, I put a... Line all these up. Let's see if we can line them all up and have it stay there. I don't think they're going to. But let's at least do these right here. Oh. I don't remember if I specifically said thanks, but thanks, Ludwig. They are slightly magnetic. Let's just go with the center one. Where's the other screwdriver? Where are we at? This is the worst part of ever. Yep. A bit of tweezers, and it's not too bad. Keep grabbing the wrong screwdriver though. Hey, Jason. Everybody say hi, Jason. uh, just using tweezers and grabbing it, and then I slightly flex the bed out of the way. Oops. Sometimes takes a couple of tries, especially with cat weight on here. Hold the bed with the cat on it, yep. Nilo cat mod, yes. What? Don't do that. Don't. That's not for you. Let's. I get the thing to. No, that's not for you. Jason, happy Chinese New Year, all my friends, and please be a tiger. Let's see what. It's not letting me scroll back. There we go. LDO is on holiday until February 8th. Don't worry, V2.4 first batch are almost ready to ship. We'll make shipment to resellers after the holiday. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate that. Can I have my parts here, Charlie? Where'd you put the other one? I'm missing one spacer. You're being a terror. Oh, where did that last spacer go? I know Charlie didn't eat it. It's probably stuck to one of the magnets under the bed. No. No, that's my screw. Where did it go? Where did that last? I'm missing one of the spacers. Did I drop it on the floor? Where'd it go, Charlie? Oh, I don't see it anywhere. What in the world? This is what a tolerant cat lets you do. stuck to his butt? I hope not. It's gotta be on the printer or something. Fall into one of the... That's not what you do. Get the magnets under the... I did! Charlie! Stop it! I don't see it under there. I know where it is. I don't know how, but it's right there. It's in its spot. I think it just stayed there from when I was putting them on there before. It was right there. Making sure these are all snug. I don't know if you can tell, these are the stepper wires I had going up to the to each extruder. I think they can stay there. I don't think I need to change anything with those. Harley is being a terror. Plug in the wiring. Really short, so it didn't get in the way of anything. I'm using one of those, what is it, XT60 connectors. But I can't really get my fingers in there. There we go. Bye, Charlie. He interrupts that print. There we go. Okay, back up. Little wire cover. So this little wire cover was one of my contributions to Switchwire. I think this one might be an extra low profile one because I've got no... Bye, Charlie. I've got nothing really sticking up here. There we go. So that's project one I wanted to do. We are good on the play. There's no play. Now I want to rebuild. Hi, Lee, from Ohio River. No attention, I'm out of here. Yep. He does eventually find his own thing to do. Okay. So I'm using M4 extruders. A mirrored version. Both versions. The mirrored and the regular. They mount like this. I have a short... So one reason that I took the Switchwire down was I stole some of these pancake steppers. I was short on them. And now I've got I think it's an OMC or some off-brand and an LDO on here. So I want to switch them both to LDOs. And I need to put a connector on this one. So let's take this one apart. And I have a afterburner that I had taken apart. So let's take the bits and pieces off of here. Now, when I built the blue V2, I saved the screws that hold this together. So I'm going to put those back in here. I probably have the originals from this one somewhere as well. I don't tend to throw things like that away. Okay, I'm going to take the Bondtech gear off of here. This guy. Hi, Evil. Evel. I'm sure you're not evil. It's Evel. I know where your name comes from, though. I suspect. Having fun with Switchwire. This is just kind of go through it, get it back up and running. Once this is printing, aside from I'm changing out Stealth Burner on my original V2, every one of my printers I could start a print job on, which I think is pretty amazing. Hi, Wade from Montreal. Okay, so that can be used for something else. Eyeball this to start, and then I can adjust if needed. It's nice and close and easy to eyeball that. I wanted to get a low maintenance 3D printer for a noob. Would the Prusa still be the way to go? The Prusa Mini, I don't have one, is a really good first printer. I think there are some significant advantages to that over like an Ender 3. I'm going to put this on the 20 tooth first, and then just kind of roll it around to get the belt on the 80 tooth gear. And then I'm just going to pressure my hand, rotate that to tension the belt. Just needs to be taut. That is that one. Happy New Year, Golden Jaguar. So I'm going to consider this one pretty much done. This one is all assembled, but I need to cut the wires and put a connector on here. So I'm going to cut this about the same length as this other one. Just so I have flexibility in what I end up using these for in the future. Thanks, Alexander. You're up to 7 now, Golden Jaguar? Tomas, thank you. 20 euros. Alright, let me get my... Microchip 3 stuff. These are just mirrored M4s, DJ Natty. Yep. I don't think I'm going to put the heat shrink on this one. I think I'm just going to leave the wire. Maybe I will. Let me see if I can find some. One of the nice things about this new bench back here is I've got a little wider work area here. I can shift things around, I think, a little better. Echo 2 Papa 2. I've used... No, I haven't. That is a new motor. I'm going to trust it. I'm still going to trust it. And a short length of appropriate heat shrink. RC trucks behind me. I have, well, I've got the racing stuff here, but I do have a crawler. I have a Axial SCX T102, whatever. This on here, just a little bit of heat shrink. Let me heat it up real quick. Ever thought about printing my own RC car? Starting to. This is the 3D Sets buggy. Oops. Where are we at? Skyrim. Hello from Guyana? What area of the world is that? Lanny from Indonesia. Hi. Okay, so these are now, should be ready to go. What controller? I don't even remember what controller I'm running on this thing. Let's set it on its side and figure that out. Mitri from Helsinki, Finland. So on this, I am running TPU printed feet, and I think these are the ones that are in the repo. South American. Thank you, Skyrim. Helena from the Netherlands. I very much appreciate my worldwide audience. Okay, what do we have here? Belgium, Sweden. Okay, we are running a SKR V1.4 Turbo. Does this thing have NeoPixel port? Lucian from Germany, Denmark, Sandy from Czech Republic. Martin the engineer, do I print TPU directly on PEI? No, I use a purple glue stick as a barrier. Poland. The amp feet. Yeah, the Switchwire kit from LDO comes with the amp feet, and they work really well for that. They're a good size. I wouldn't hesitate to, if someone was, you know, I mean, all you need is one spare part to build a whole new printer, right? So once you switch to the guitar amplifier feed on your Trident or V2, use those compressor feed as the basis to build a Switchwire. Wow. Mexico, Austria, Norway, Slovakia. Even have someone here from Texas. I mean, that's 2 people from Texas. Netherlands, Amsterdam, got Florida, Romania. Wow. Okay, does the SKR 1.4 have a NeoPixel port? I think it did. Is it labeled? That guy right there. Let's find out. Portugal, 3 from Texas. Let's find out. Let's go to, let me find my mouse first. SKR 1.4 GitHub. Northern Ireland. Chicago, Illinois. That's okay, Low Tech Greg. I'm in NorCal, so. Kanakistan, Canada. Oh, did I want the man? I want to go back here. I want to go to here, and I go to hardware, and let's go to the pin diagram. And excuse me, NeoPixel is right here. That's the one I thought it was. Right here, we're going to use pin 1.24, and I'm just planning ahead for Stealth Burner. I'm in the Sacramento area, a couple hours from Pleasanton, I think. Yeah, 1.24 NeoPixel port right there. That's what we were looking for. So, do I have enough wire to run the 3 pins through everything to wire that up? Isn't this clean? No wires anywhere. Everything's kind of tucked out of the way. I'm pretty pleased with that. Lars, you think I'd need the module if I'm only running the 3 LEDs on the Stealth Burner? Your mom lives in Oroville. I've spent quite a bit of time in Oroville. That's about an hour away from here. I spent a lot of time up there during the spillway incident. Was your mom there when the emergency spillway broke? No, yeah. When the spillway and the emergency spillway broke. Citrus Heights is closed. Close. Wire. I got enough. I've got enough here. They were almost evacuated. Used to live in Rancho. Okay. I've been here in the Sacramento area for a little over 21 years. 21 and a half years. Everything coming through there. Oh, this is all still silicone wire. You know, I do have one of those 5-volt modules. So if I needed to, I can put it on. Okay, let's figure out how long the wire. Let's start the bottom. Oh, you like that, DJ? I was doing this for a long time just so I could just use a regular USB cable to provide the power. I bought these little breakout boards from Amazon. So for that Oroville spillway disaster, I work for the Department of Water Resources, and I was on site IT, part of the team there for the entirety of the response and recovery. So I still support many of the activities that are up there in my day job. Okay, so we're gonna go about there. I'm gonna need to get to the outside. And we're gonna go up this cable chain. Then back down. Over to the X chain. About that long. Holy moly, that seems long. That's like 6 feet. Let's see how close I am. Hopefully I don't go short. There's a whole bunch of them out there, Evil. Basically just USB breakout board, I think is what I would search for. Okay, let's see how good of a job I did with that. For running this, I think I'm going to run it from the tool head back to here. So I think I'm going to start putting a connector on the end here. I don't remember what I set the voltage on that to, DJ Natty. I don't remember ever seeing a low voltage warning on it though. microfit stuff again. Try to keep everything consistent with the pinouts and connectors with the rest of my printers, just in case. Yeah, Jeff, I watched one of those. I think there was a more recent one that I haven't been able to watch yet. I keep forgetting. But yeah, he does the. I like listening to his explanations. Practical printing guy, or practical engineering guy. Evil. Running my Pi 4B directly from an octopus with 2 positives and 2 ground leads. Since I had a 4.3, it keeps getting me undervolt errors. I am running an octopus with the Pi powered from it on the orange Trident. I had to run 2 20 gauge power wires, and I am running a 4.3 inch touchscreen. And I'm no longer getting undervolt errors. I was getting them before. Where did I get all my microfit hardware from? Randomness? DigiKey. I bought one of those kits that's in the sourcing guide to start, and then I've just bought individual stuff since then to supplement it. Hot in here. I'm going to label these with little pieces of heat shrink. I'm gonna go yellow and red. And I just leave the black one. Just little tiny pieces, just so I can identify. Where do I have? See if I have any of the. I have to do it on this printer. Just want to confirm pinout that I'm using on the rest of the printers. So I'm just going to take a peek at the orange Trident here. So I'm going red, yellow, black. Red, yellow, black in that order. So this one, I mean, these don't matter right now, but I'm going to label them. Thanks, Echo. That's why I have fun doing these. I hope to teach something and I hope to learn something. Mike. Okay, so this is going to be a red wire. So let's put the. I'm going to put one of these all the way down, and then I'm going to heat shrink the other one somewhat close to the end. And yellow is the middle one. So again, I'm going to send one of these all the way to the connector, and one of them close, and I'm going to heat these two closer ones just so they have some chance of staying in place as I pull them through the chains. And of course I made a mistake. There's no way for me to do this without making a mistake. I put the wrong end on, so let me fix that. I have the official Molex tool for depinning these. And I think the trick to this is not to put this in and pry. I think the trick is to put this in and twist. You twist the flat side of this tool, and just that twisting motion pushes the tang over where it can come out. So let me see if I can get any kind of focus on this. I can't see because my glasses don't let me see if it's focused or not. Put this in here and then just kind of rock it back and forth. Yep, just like that. I hear that these break easily, this tool. And I don't know if people are going in and trying to bend it. Gotta get into the side, and then I'm just twisting. There. There. Easy. Easy. Twisting doesn't break the pins, it's just moving them out of the side. Now, these I'm just going to cut off because I put the wrong pins on. So they're not going to be useful anyway. But if you get in there with a sharp edge, like an X-Acto knife or something, you can get the pins bent out. But you get like once or twice doing that. You can't expect for those to stay in good shape over multiple removal and reinstalls. Okay, take two. Grab mine. Grab the right ones this time. Okay. Right, that's how the tool is meant to be used. I bought one myself. You rotate left and right and it comes out. Yep. Let me just making sure that I get this right. Red. Yellow. Yeah. And black. Small screwdriver just to make sure they're seated. Okay, now those are labeled on this side, and near the end here, labeled them on this side. Later. I want to pull it. I want to pull it towards me. It doesn't work that way. Let's use our neat trick we got from Wiley. Run the... I've got silicone wire in here. I don't really want to rewire this whole thing. I don't have to. It's making it a little more difficult to push past all of this. I think I'm going to have to take this in two passes. Let's take these two first. Right, like that, and then guide it through as we pull the PTFE through. It's that one. The red one here. This way. And just a single wire here can just kind of push through. Go. Now, see if I can get a straight shot at the rest of this. hitting something in there. Let's take this off. Oh, there it is. As we pull those through. Oh. One more. This is going to go right about there, I think. That is a PTFE tube. It's just the same stuff, just this stuff. But the 3mm inner diameter lets me fit 2 of these 24 gauge wires in it. This Z is going to be interesting. Let's go here to the top. It's there. These over here in the path. And grab 2 of them. Go. Figure out how those actually have to route here in a moment. There. Hey, Juan Carlos from Spain. Uh-oh. Got us a bot. Where'd my mouse go? Port. It jet lagged from watching Nero last night. Okay. See if I can get this all back in its I had a, where is it? Where did the screw go that I used for that? Oh, there it is. I know, I saw that. You got the Nero to actually put the skirt on the correct way. Now I just need to work on getting the bottom panel. Okay, that's on there. I need to fix some of my zip ties to make sure everything is in the right spots, but we're gonna go up and go in right here. I'm gonna try to go in this other side. So tight squeeze at the end. Shame him into submission. Hey, JP Gray, we're just getting it back up and running at the same time. Figure since I have it apart, I might as well put a stealth burner setup on it. Just kind of generally getting it back to a printable state. I thank Wiley for introducing me to this, because this is super easy. So, Martin, the reason this, I think the reason the skirts are that way is one, for printability. If you look at them, they would not print and be a flush surface the way that you might want to install them. The other is it makes a flat surface across the fans. I think it makes it more interesting for it not to be all sunken in on the side, myself. Any advice on how to handle cable inside of drag chains? I'm having some issues with stealth burner LED cables again. The chains are full. Can I run 28 gauge for the LEDs inside the drag chains? I think so, if you're just running the 3 LEDs. I don't think the current draw is very high. But what other wires are you running in there that the chains are so full? I'm a little concerned about that. Yeah, this is all silicone wire in here, and it is more full than it would be, of course, with the all PTFE. Yeah, some of these are multi-conductor silicone wires, so they kind of act like a fatter chain too, or fatter wire. Okay, let's make sure that I have enough wire here. I'm gonna go right about there. Tighten this down on this. I've got a zip tie in here I need to carefully cut out. Let me grab some new ones. Silicone wires would be a good choice for the bed wires on here. That's what I'm using. I bought the hobby industry is a good place to get fat silicone wires because they use them in battery packs. RC car stuff. Okay. Hey, Brian, I'm doing well. How are you? I have one there. Here. One more. CHC Pro, what is that? What's a CHC Pro? Let's see. Triangle Lab CHC Pro. Is this them? Maybe not. That doesn't look right. What is a CHC Pro? It wasn't a quick find. Okay, here are mine, and I was way over. That's okay, not too much. My first printer was a CR10. a Meltzy board CR10. So Magnus, I use Edge on this computer because I don't have a profile set on it. It's sterile. I have my Chrome setup here is set up for my profile, and that's what I run the stream out of. But the whole reason for running Edge is because I don't use it, so it's the only thing that ever shows up on it, stuff that I've done on my stream. Just making sure that these came out the same spot instead of in between a bunch of other wires in there. Exactly, stream safe. I've got some spots here, and then I'm just going to go right there. That's going to be nice and clean. Okay, so let's push these heat shrink markers that I use way back here so I don't accidentally lose them. And then we're just going to go right to there. So I'm just going to cut this about here. I'm going to give myself a little extra. Hey, the Weekend Warrior. And then this is enough extra that I'm going to save that for in case I have another project that needs short lengths. Ew. Huh. I had a print fail. Not sure why. But it stopped right here. Got some, looks like a clog or some sort of extrusion issue. To troubleshoot that. That's exactly right, Michael. That's smart. Ceramic heating core. Oh, okay. So since E3D is doing it, everyone's got to do it. Which is, I mean, it's be interesting to see what everyone's take is. But that's kind of the trend, right? Something happens and suddenly it's all over the place. That stealth burner front. This is Stellar Red from KVP. I'm not sure what happened. Otherwise, the print looks great. Little bit, you can barely tell the Hilbert curve first layer. But that printer just finished a 234 millimeter tall 8-hour print with no problem. No, DJ Natty, for sure. They made it hot, right? So the hot thing gets attention. Wow. That wasn't an intentional pun there, but oh, what do we got? We need JSTs. JST XHs. Yeah, I'll have to figure out what's going on with that printer then. Oops, forgot to grab a housing. So this guy goes in there like that. Now we got to figure out what is the pin out of that. Did I reuse? Here we go. So from the left, we're ground, signal, power. So black, yellow, red. How are we doing? Switchwire IDEX. I think I've seen someone build one of those, but I'm not sure. Competition and more choices are good. I highly agree. Fix neighbor's Ender 3 stream. I fixed it. I couldn't let the poor kid wait. He's 11 years old, I think, and he's been super patient with me. But I think it's fixed. I will check that after the stream, Brian. Thank you. I did that little short PTFE mod in the hot end on the Ender 3, and then it was still skipping on the extruder. So I ended up just bumping the current to the extruder. It never, even at 1 amp, it's not getting warm. So black, signal, and power. You're supposed to sign up stream ASAP instead. Spin up stream. Yeah, I know. Had to get that done. Okay, so that's plugged in. Grab a couple of zip ties and secure it. Call that good, I think. Yeah, I think we'll call that good. What's the green board? Oh, this board is a little MOSFET board. Little MOSFET controller board. I'm using it to run the cooling fan from one of the extra outputs from a low current output. Since I had a limited number of controllable fans, so that lets me run. I think I'm just running from where did I run that from? There's power. Signal is going to one of the end stops. One of the unused end stops. Yep. I needed an extra PWM fan output. Where are we at? Oh, that's what I was going to check. We have 200 people on here right now. So I mentioned it earlier in the stream. Where did we get when I mentioned it? That's pretty good. I only need 28 subscribers to hit 3,000 this month. So if you're not subscribed, of the 200 people that are watching right now, I only need 28 more. I like seeing the numbers. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like to necessarily push it because it really doesn't matter for what I'm doing. What I'm doing here is just having fun, not trying to make a career out of this. But it's cool to see the numbers. And when I get to a milestone like that, by the end of January, 3,000 subscribers, when I started in September, I feel like that's pretty good. Oh. I think you're a little behind, Low Tech. We're quite a number of likes ahead of that. We're doing pretty good, I think, on the viewers to likes ratio. I'm showing 204 concurrent viewers right now and 132 likes. So Andy, the cable cover for that little test cable cover, I ended up making it fit. It's super tight, but it did actually fit. So, but it needs some tweaks. I did work on it a little bit, but it was mostly just that one I was able to make fit. Where are we at? Because this print failed, I can't really get to installing this stuff. What else do I want to do on here? This is here. This is here. What do we got? We got about another 45 minutes in what I was planning for today. I was planning 3 hours. I can't mount the M4s until I put the case on, the enclosure on. So maybe what we'll do is see where we're at with the firmware and stuff. That'll be a nice, good little chunk of time. Let's see where we're at, because we can power this on. There's no reason not to. it doesn't have to have extruders plugged in order to do anything. Now we may need to grab the tool head just so we don't get a thermistor. This is the old tool head, but just so we don't get a ADC out of range error and stuff. Plug this in. Craigish, that was stellar red, that failed print. That failed print. This guy in here. So we got that. We don't need the fans plugged in order for us to see where we're at. I don't even know what version of whatever we have on here. So I know we know we have an SKR4 turbo. Just power it on. No magic smoke, so we're good. Yeah, the orange here is Prusament orange. Hey, we have life. Let's go over here. Camera focusing doing something trippy. Yeah, I keep moving in front of the camera too, and I'm sure it's not having a great time with that. Let's see where we're at. I think I named this thing just sw.local. And I'm going to have to do this is the first time I visited it on this computer. My printer can. Yeah. Are we okay right now as far as... Yeah, I think we're okay right now. We are on main cell version 0.4.1, right? Let's see. We've got a... Yeah, 0.4.1. Clipper 0.9. Oh, it's dirty. That's why... Let's go clean slate on all of this. Let's refresh. I don't know how much force is on those. I mean, you don't need to hulk your belts down, so it's not too bad. Yeah, this has been a while since I've had this thing on and running. It's dirty because I think I'm running a experimental build for the... I think it was an early version of the avoiding the magnets setup. We're not going to do... I don't know that we're going to do the Linux or the Linux upgrades or not. Dirty means it's not this, it doesn't match what's in the repo right now. Is that right? I don't want to fly. I want to see how this goes. Hey, I got that right, Kilo? Awesome. Yeah, I installed some fork to, I think, I don't remember who it was that I was installing it from. I don't know if you remember as Herbo or ArcSign. And I probably should have done mainsail first, huh? So far out of date, I didn't know if it mattered. If it contains modifications that have not been committed to a current branch. Yeah. Barnyard, thanks for the 2.4 stream. Got my 2.4 printing yesterday. Awesome. It's already producing good results. That's great. I'm not a big fan of Ultistick. They have consistency and customer service issues. Oh, I'm going to have all kinds of trouble here, aren't I? New Moonraker update with policy kit will screw up the Moonraker service on mainsail, old and new. Now, if I remember right, I tried to get rid of this. I tried to make Edge open a blank screen every time I open a new tab, but I must have missed something. I think, is that right? Yeah. I think there were instructions here for forcing the updates. So I'm going to the manual updates, and I think I can go through and run these, right, Kilo? Since this isn't connecting. Use Chrome, it just works. Can't use Chrome. Yeah. So I'm going to go through these steps here. And DJ, I don't have access to... I saw that you sent me a message because it's on my other computer, but I don't even have mainsail installed on this computer. Let's go here. So this is a... Remember, I reinstalled Windows. So let's fix a few things here. I think we're okay here. This is what we're looking at here, though, right? So we're gonna SSH pi at switchwire.local. Log in. Breaker, get full. Already up to date, so it already did that part. The new Moonraker update permissions. Go with Brave browser. Update Moonraker dependents. Is this what you're talking about right here? Only update if you see missing modules in the Moonraker log. So now I think I need to get mainsail up to date. Nope, that's... And then we're going to take this line here. Run that. You should run that script with -R too. Which script? The one I just ran? This one here? Or the one here? Probably this, huh? Yeah. So I didn't really talk a whole lot about it, but we're at a very old version of the different pieces of components. I think the big takeaway here is a lot of this, like forcing manual updates, is covered in the documentation site, and how to get there, docs.mainsail.xyz, and following through these instructions, hoping we get to the point where we have a working setup again. Where are we at? Is it still running? Yep. Let's see where we're at. We got another 10 subscribers. We're 18 away. After it's done, go into the Moonraker directory and run this. Is that documented somewhere, Kilo? Is there somewhere I can point folks to how to figure that out? Okay, so that finished. And we're going to run this command. Run the Moonraker folder. Oh, and ArcSign's GitHub. We run that. Okay. But let's go here. Moonraker.read the docs. Is that true? Is that Read the docs.io. You missed it. Okay. I actually didn't know this existed. .io. So let's go back here. Hey, look at this. Probably we are. Let's refresh. Oh yeah, we got all kinds of stuff. Current Clipper version does not support. An error was detected while loading the Moonraker components. The update manager. Let's go to. Let's fix these bit by bit. Probably in here needs things fixed and changed. So let's go to, I think here, configuration. Is this where the update manager stuff is? Where was that? Or was it here? Here we go. I probably just want this whole thing, huh? Just grab this whole thing and just replace this, since this is super old. What did I mess up? Cannot connect to Moonraker? What did I mess up? I just grabbed this. No, this just isn't connecting anymore. Should I just do a reboot? Moonraker.log. Am I still connected? Yeah, I'm still connected. Where do they put Moonraker.log? Or should I just reboot? There's an issue in Moonraker at the moment. Where did Kilo post something? Did I miss something? That's fine. I probably haven't upgraded Python. Moonraker.log right there. That's an old. I don't have a current. No, I don't think we need to recover the printer config yet. We're not at that point. Is it just moonraker.log? How do I... There we go. What do I... What's the best way to view this? I don't mind the frustration here. This is good. How do I... What's the best way to view this from someone that's not... What am I looking for? Is this helping anybody? What is less? I don't know what you guys are talking about. What is that? Is that what you want? Go to the end. Woo. Cat. Whew. Where is the end? Shift G will go to the end? Okay. There we go. Because we're learning, Derek. This is good. What am I looking for here, Kilo? Less is more? Option log path is not a valid directory. Should I do the whole system update? Is that what needs to happen here? I know, DJ. I am kind of. I'm reading it all. I no offense to anybody here. I'm sure many of you know exactly a path, and there's probably multiple paths that will get this fixed. But I can't follow all of them at once. See, I'm learning here too. Even if I'm stumbling through this, I'm learning something. It would probably be way faster, Faith, to save the config and do a fresh install, but that's okay. And it's a very valid method to go through. But I want to learn from you guys what it would take to fix this. So what do you want to see here, Kilo? From here? Can I just run that from right here? No, I don't mind everybody putting in your suggestions. Don't worry. Just don't be offended if I'm trying to follow one path. There's no problem with everything going on. I'm reading it all. It's usually home directory. Okay. Remember when we were having trouble? What was that stream? We spent like an hour troubleshooting something, and we were successful in the end. I had a good time on that one. I do know enough that make dir is a command to create a directory. I got that. So my roots in using a computer are back to command prompt DOS. So there we are. Awesome. So now we should update Clipper, right? Since we're back to auto exec bad and config sys. Yep. Kilo knows anything he needs from me, he's got. At least I hope he knows. So we're going to do a hard recovery here, I think. And I know we're going to have to update the MCUs, and I've got to, this will be fun. I'm just going to go straight to the hard recovery here. We have to update Clipper. We can't run Clipper that's old on this. You're still around, Wiley. Oh boy, that I hadn't thought of those two file names in forever, Magnus. Might have to talk to you, Wiley, a post-mortem on that print. That was a recent. I'll have to pull it apart and see what happened. But that's a really new, maybe if one revision old on the Stealth Burner and Clockwork stuff. Oh, that finished. So that's up to date. Let's go ahead and bring Moonraker up. And should I do the system updates? Yeah, Wiley. I was printing Stellar Red Stealth Runner front, and it stopped at some point, so we'll look at that. Let's see, go back to my... Actually, I'm only here because Steve keeps calling my name. Wiley? Is that... Update. So a question about Clipper update. If you add a bootloader to the controller, can you then update the MCU direct from SSH? On some controllers, you can do the SD card update, which I think we can do on this. That was beta 4 I was printing. Have I considered using WireGuard? I had no idea that existed and don't know what it is. I can look it up. I don't know, Wiley. I don't know what's what. Your first computer had a Z80 processor. My TI-85 had a Z80 processor. Zilog Z80. I mean, if you're a real nerd, then you ran Z Shell on it. So you could run assembly games. We're on the same page, Wiley. So if you search in the games repositories for Z Shell games and you find Minehunt, that was my game I programmed. It's still out there. You go to ticalc.org in their Z Shell list, you can still find it. We'll go a little over what I'd said so we can get the MCUs updated. I think we should be able to, within the next half an hour or so, I think we can be done. Yeah, I think I got my TI-85 in 94 or 95. I think my senior year of high school is when I had it. Did I don't know if this is probably too long ago, but I overclocked my TI-85 by changing the RC time circuit in there, changing the values, and I put in a little switch so I could, like a turbo switch on my TI-85. DJ Natty, so the plan is just get this thing back up working and dual extruding, do some ABS 2-color prints. Oh, what's planned after the fixed wire switch streams? I still need, there's so much V2 content because 2.4 R2 isn't too far out, and I'm gonna upgrade the green V2, do that. I think that would be good content to go from an existing working printer and swapping out the parts to the updated ones. Yeah, I might play with the Mark III. I want to put a Raspberry Pi Zero 2W on there. So going through and doing updates and installing Octoprint for that, because I'm tired of going over and starting prints from the screen. See you, Rainer. Thanks for being here. How many steppers can a TI-85 run? Isn't there an output port on that for like a projector? I mean, you got, with assembly, with Z Shell, you have access to stuff. Still have my TI-85 rocking Z Shell. Also have a 486 DX2. I don't have any computers that old, but I still have my TI-85. It's got one row of pixels that are dead on it. I'm so sad on that. Let's put Clipper on a TI-85. Was that a different calculator I was thinking of that had the projector output, or is that the link port? I had a TI-92 as well. I got that when I started college. That had a Motorola processor in it, I think. I don't remember which one though. There we are. Finished. So let's just reboot the host. Yeah, maybe that was the one that had the option for the projector. It was a much, I mean, it was a big calculator. It's like this big with a giant screen in the middle and a QWERTY keyboard, and I still have it too. I have seen the pet bottle filament stuff. It's CNC Kitchen's videos on that, and another couple of videos showed up on my feed. I didn't watch those, but I watched Stefan's video on it. It is neat. It's just that how do you get more than a few feet of filament? Okay, we are up. We are all up to date. Let's go in and update the firmware on the MCUs. So I'm going to go to Clipper documentation site. And we're going to go to documentation. And down here, there is a SD card updates is what I'm going to follow. And I'm going to switch my AirPods because this one's about dead. Give me a second. There we go. So we're going to follow this procedure. So let's get back into the Pi. And let's go to Clipper, make a clean menu config. Oh, so let's enable this. Let's choose the LP things. This is a 1.4 turbo. I think the rest of this is default. I think we're just connecting with USB on this. Yep. Quit. Save. Now we are going to follow. Let's see if I can get a. Now we're going to make, and then we're going to run this script. So make. Now there is a script to run, and then you put your board identifier here. You get what you put there from this command here to list the supported boards. This is what I tried to do on the Octopus configuration on the Blue V2, but it's not listed. But the SKR Turbo 1.4 is listed. So we're going to take this command, and we should probably stop Clipper, which I forgot to do before. We're going to paste that command, and then we're going to come up here and we're going to grab that. And I think that should do it. No. MCU type mismatch. Oh. It's trying to flash the... It's trying to flash the display board. Why is it doing that? Here, let's do... Can we just do this? Replace that with that. So I grabbed the actual ID for the controller. That should have done it. So what I did there is the documentation here has you're flashing to this port. That port was pointing to the little mini display adapter board I have. So I just went and grabbed the actual ID for the board we're flashing out of my config and pasted it there instead. So now the main controller is up to date, but the display is using a little STM 103 whatever processor, so we need to flash it. But we can start, go back here, let's start Clipper, and we should be able to see if this flashed. So go back to here and close this, and I think under, isn't there a, yeah, we've got all these errors, but it won't, I don't think it can. It's not in the boot DFU mode on the display. Wasn't there a part in Mainsail now that tells you what version things are on? I thought it was in here, but oh, only if I resolve the config errors? Okay. We're just gonna move on to this display. So to get, I always follow these instructions to flash one of these display adapters. I go to the Voron hardware GitHub. And this is the STM32 Mini 12864 adapter. This guy here is what I'm running. And there is a nice little, where is it? Just a quick little instructions on how to flash this. And we're gonna flash an actual device ID here. But the first thing you do is get access to the, how can I do this? I've got a short power cable. Let me shut this down and put a longer power cable on it. See ya, Joseph. Thanks for being here. Okay. I got a super short power cable sitting here. Grab a longer one so I can move the printer around a little better. From what I understand it, DJ Nutty, I don't think you can flash these without putting them in, without using the boot jumper. So if you, this is that little adapter. This is probably another file I can put out there because Timit never put it on the main repo, I don't think. A little cover I made for it. I was told by Timit that you had to do this whole process. So I've got access to the boot jumpers here. And I've got that. So let me grab a little jumper. we go to here, I think there was a start by putting the board into DFU mode. Jump the boot 0 pins and perform a reset. So if I put the jumper on here, I don't have the reset button installed. So I am just going to, am I going to unplug it here? No, I'm going to unplug it right here. I'm going to unplug it. That'll power off the display. And then plug it back in. I can line up this USB card. Now the display will power up. And then you can, once it's powered up, you can pull the boot jumper out. Everything turned back on. Oh, I did all of that. Here, the whole printer is off. I never turned the printer back on. So I'm just going to put the boot jumper on, turn the printer on. Oops. So printer's on, I can remove this boot jumper. It should be in DFU mode. And then we're gonna set, so we're gonna go back and SSH into the printer. We are going to change this to STM. It is a F103, right? STM. Oh, it's the 042, sorry. 042. And then internal clock. USB. I don't think there is a bootloader offset. Internal clock. And I don't know which one this should be. I think. Where are we at on chat? Yeah. So then we can make there. So when I do this, I know that this documentation is out here. I also know that there's another one that gives me a little more information. So this is just basically the steps you would take to flash this. There is another device that uses the same thing. I think it's the, where was that? I think in the V0 display instructions, there were some documentation and setup and flashing guide. This gives it a lot more information to tell whether the device is in DFU mode or not. So we can run this LSUSB command. It's the same processor that's being used. So it's the same processes to do this. And I'm checking to see what comes up. So now we see that there is a device in DFU mode. And that's the STM device. So this 0483 DF11, I think it's always that. I don't think that changes. Even if you have multiple of these, I think you have to have, at least unless there's something I can learn. I always have to do one device at a time plugged in to make sure that I'm flashing the correct device. So now we've confirmed that this is in DFU mode. We ran the menu config. We chose all these options. Now we can make clean and then make flash and we're going to just get this part. So make clean, and then make flash 0483 DF11. And it wrote it. So that's it. It's not going to come on because our configuration is wrong. But we should do ls/dev/serial/by ID, and we should see both of our devices now. So we have our LPC 1769, which is the main controller, and we have our STM32F042, which is the display adapter. I think we're done there. Now let's fix some of these configuration errors. So we have rotation distance things, and some of this stuff is in. Let's just fix the errors, and then I might go through and clean up the rest of this stuff. I already removed the boot jumper. You can remove the boot jumper as soon as it's booted up, as soon as it's done the reset. It doesn't have to stay in there for the flash. So step distance gets changed to rotation distance. But what is the whole... what all do I need to change here? There's lots of things that are out of date here. I just want to get a functioning, get the thing up and running today. I think microsteps can stay down here, right? Here, let me, when in doubt, let's go VT orange. When in doubt, I always check my other configurations. There we are. That's the one I was missing. Full steps per rotation. And that's all I should need, right? Yeah. Now are these... These are 1.8 steppers. Now I'm going to take this. That was X. Micron. Y. And Z. Okay. Does that get me up and running? Let's find out. Microsteps must be specified. Oh, is it specified wrong? I thought it could be in either spot. Microsteps needs to be up here as well. Oh, thanks for that reminder, DJ. That is true. Where was that? Oh. Well, that's my extruder. It's the bed. No, I don't use the 3950 on here in this config. I don't know if that's a problem, if I should be. Oh, rotation distance and extruder. I forgot that one. Oh, that one's interesting. Step distance. So this is going to be... Here. Let's grab... No, these are not going to be correct. But this is going to go right here. Now there's a gear ratio. What's the gear ratio? Here, let's go to the config reference. Is this in here? Rotation distance. And what is the... I want to set the gear ratio. Using gear ratio. And this is going to be 80 to 20. I know that's the same as 4 to 1. These are 22s, right? Yeah. Right, but these are M4s. M4s. So 20 and 80. And then the rotation distance is going to be the typical 22 point whatever, because it's a BMG gear. I'm just going to grab the default value down here, 22 point. There. So is that correct? What? Oh, there's 2 extruders. That's right. Let's grab all of this that I did there. And let's get rid of the microsteps down here because we don't need it in both spots. Put that there. And get rid of that. Now let's go. Invalid indices. Oh, this is part of the... Yeah, let me comment those out or delete them. This is part of the test, the non-standard firmware I was running. Oh, where is that? Invalid indices. I am just going to... Oops. I can't see where my cursor is half the time on this. Comment that out. See if there's anything else. Default parameter S, G-code macro M300. What did I have going on there? M300. Where is that? G-code macro N300. Yeah, but I was just gonna comment all of these out, but where? I didn't see that. Oh, default parameter, that's it. Okay. Yeah, Echo 2 Papa 2, I saw that. I'm just trying to get something that comes up, because that's where I'm going to cut it for today, is the printer comes up in an error-free state. Whether it's correct or not, we'll play around with that later. But isn't there a way, is there a hotkey in here to just comment out whole sections? Is there a... I thought there was something like that in this editor. Can't I just highlight all of this and comment it out with some key sequence? Does anybody know that offhand? Control question mark. I was going to go to the main sale. Let's just see. No. Control flash. Aha! There we go. Thank you, Kilo. I'm just going to comment out all of this. What? Okay, let's search for default parameter and see where I missed it. Where did I miss it? It is probably then in... No, it wouldn't be there. Where? Ah, here's where it is. This is the separate config file I use for the display. Woohoo! We have things that are missing. I don't have a main sale config file here, so probably need to do that. But we have a functional config now. With that, we're going to stop progress on this today. Spend another 5 minutes or so. You guys want to have any questions, want to chat? I think that was pretty good. I very much appreciate everybody's help, and especially Kilo, in getting through the update thing. We got through that without having to start over. So next time we come back to this will be just more setting it up, get Stealth Burner installed on here, maybe with a Revo Voron, maybe with a production Revo Voron if FedEx is happy with me. If I get lucky with FedEx. Master Cato is sleeping. He's given up on bugging me in favor of a nap. We had a pretty entertaining Charlie visit today, though. He was in full character when I started. Yeah, of all the carriers, FedEx is my least favorite. Any LGX lights on the way to me? No, not on the way to me. That's not it. They're not on the way to me, but it's here somewhere. I cleaned in here, so I don't know exactly where. I have an LGX light. I just don't know where it is. What is the procedure for posting Voron mods? There is a GitHub, Voron users GitHub, that has all the mods out there. The switching, is it done with just the Y connector before the hot end? Yeah, it's all done with macros and stuff, or tool change commands in the slicer. I've had this printing dual color and working. I have a little... I think this is the print that I have left. This was printed on this printer. Obviously, you see some feed errors that I was having, but it turned out pretty good. I have a 2.4 question. The back gantry drops a visible amount when powered off. The lock screws are tight on the tooth gears on both back Z motors. Belts are tight. All the weight is in the back. All the weight is in the back. It's going to do that. If you're running 0.9 steppers for your Z's, usually those have less detent torque or whatever. I had huge problems with that on my green V2 when I was running some 0.9 steppers. I switched over to the spec 1.8s and it's solid. YouTube videos as links accepted for serial requests. Yes, that's how mine are. If you look at the earliest videos on my channel, they're my serial requests. What's the current best hot end extruder setup? That's a wide question. Depends on what your particular needs are. Keyback would help. I don't think you need it. I mean, that's what QGL and stuff is for. I have not requested a serial for the... I only have the 5 serials. I didn't request any for anything beyond the first of what I built. I could add like 6 or 7 serials to the counts. Yeah, I have one serial for each model that Voron's designed. My first, the V2 serial 449. I don't have enough room in my Discord name. I had to abbreviate it like crazy, and I only fit it there because I have 2 serial number 1s. I have Legacy 1 and Switchwire 1. But my new setup with this bench back here makes it feel like I have so much more room, because all the printers aren't just stacked right next to each other. Let me see if I can get enough angle here to actually see. Yeah, you can see the 3 there. You can see Legacy right there. And then the green V2, and then the Ender 3 I'm working on for my neighbor, and then the Mark 3 in the end. But link shortener to the page that just lists. Let's see what we did. Did we hit the goal? We got another day. If I can hit my goal before the end of January, I'd be super happy. So where are we at? Reminding people to subscribe really does work, because I came in here, I don't know how many. I came in here needing 48, and now I only need 13. So I have almost 200 people in here. It's got to be 13 of you that haven't subscribed, right? That's a lot you'll hear from me. I do appreciate it. It makes me feel good. But it'll come. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. More Charlie equals more subs. You want me to wake him up? I mean, just to the namesake Charlie Cam. Tired cat. Andrew, I am planning on an enraged rabbit. I have a 1.0 kit that I need to upgrade to a 1.1. That's okay. He wakes us up all the time. There we go. You don't need to see me. I don't care about him. Let's go here. There we go. Okay, with that, thanks again, everybody. We'll be back next week. Probably more of this, hopefully mixed in with a putting the Revovoron on here. That would be a good one to go for the dual extrusion. So I appreciate everybody who subscribed today. As you know, I don't usually mention it, but just being the day and so close, I do appreciate it. With that, I'm going to go let Charlie sit on my lap for a while, and we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks again. Oh, I got to go to the other tab. Bye.